Start streaming. Hello and welcome to another stream from me, Anth the Mackem. Today we have Jacob Aviard joining us all the way from the pits of Leeds. How we doing, mate? Happy
Good,
after this weekend?
Oh, aye, definitely.
Been an
Glad to get a win.
It's been a couple of weeks coming, hasn't it? We've been waiting since the Reading game for. All right, this guy's really bugging me on the chat. I'm just gonna hide him from the channel.
Is that Newcastle fan again?
Yeah, his jokes were all right, but then he's fucking mentioning what's it called? The Adam Johnson bullshit again. Like, yeah. We get it.
Innocent till proven guilty.
He was proven guilty, mate. But do you know what I mean? Fucking get over it. It was 8 years ago. We haven't had him on our roster for that time. But also,
player like that. We're not the only club that's had a player like that.
Well, we're not the only club that's had him. You got to remember that Man City had him. England. He played for England as well.
Why didn't you go at Man City fans as well?
Yeah.
Saying to Man City fans, you had a pedo at your club.
At least we called him. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
We did the good thing and went, "Whoa, this is fucking weird. What are you doing?" Man City were all right with it. But
that's how it is. Innocent to proven guilty. So at the time, we didn't know at first, and then.
Yeah, he was definitely guilty though, mate. Like, I get it. It's a thing, but. How long ago was that?
2015.
Was it 15? I thought it was 13. I thought it was near enough a decade ago.
But no, after when I heard about it, when I first heard about it, I was thinking, please don't be true. And then when it comes out that it's all true, I just was pissed off.
Yeah, he was a smog longer than he was a Mackem as well. He was with the Smoggies for 6 years, Leeds for a year, Watford for a year. Man City for 3 years, and with us for 4. More of a smog than he is a Mackem, but we just called him. Simple as that. Right. Fuck off, Adam Johnson. Fuck off, Geordies who think it's still relevant. It was half a decade ago now. Right. Anyways, Sunderland versus Wigan. Tale of two halves, do you reckon?
Yeah, I think we played good overall. Like Wigan, it wasn't like Wigan were better in first half and we were better in second. We were just better overall. I think we were better than in the second half than the first half. But Wigan's goal was just a lucky moment for them.
Yeah.
In my eyes.
Yeah, no, it was absolutely that, mate. Like, the first half we did dominate. We put the ball in the back of the net. That offside goal that was disallowed. But they took the counter-attack. They did their one job that they were planning out or trying to do very, very well. When they got that lead, though, they started to slow the ball down. And there was conversation, let me say, during the game around time wasting. Now, isn't that what Patterson got his yellow card for time wasting?
Yeah.
Was that...
And other clubs have done it to us and they've not got books, but when Sunderland do it, it's automatically a problem.
Yeah, and also they did it pretty much straight away. They were on the floor, rolling around, like claiming Bloody Mary, really, for the most part. But I get it, it's like 5 minutes before the end of the game. But ultimately, I think Wigan didn't put themselves out or didn't show their best qualities in that game. There's a couple of factors I think that did play its part. You had the weather. I know it's standard English weather, but it was chucking down a rain. You could see that actually holding up the ball a tiny bit. The ball was played across the floor, and slides and challenges were a little bit more. How do you say it? Wet and wildy. So. I don't know. The first half, I was ultimately very disappointed with how we went in at halftime because I thought, here we go again, another ex-player curse bullshit. To be fair to Charlie White as well, though, he didn't over celebrate. He celebrated the goal obviously because he's happy that he scored and that's his job.
Mm.
But I don't know. I don't think he did himself a disservice. The one ex-Sunderland player that did do himself a little bit of a disservice was James McClellan, though. Again, we had five former players in their team, and he was the only one that anybody really had a gripe against.
Yeah, he's just an idiot, James McLean or James
McClellan.
James may see you next Tuesday.
I got yeah. I understand what you're doing there. So I don't know. The first half was a bit of a, how do we put it? Was a bit of a shit show. It was sloppy. We did look like the better team in that first half, but we were ultimately 1-0 behind at the break. I think it would have been just a case of continue on, keep on, crack on, all of that malarkey, and there wouldn't have been half the amount of issues that unfolded during the second half. But we did do the perfect thing. We scored early in that second half, and the game was on from that point, and Wigan never looked in it. So, do you recall the goal at all? The first Sunderland goal?
Yeah, and I think it just seemed to Mowbray must have given them a bit of a telling off, and I think we just suddenly woke up and we just seemed definitely better than the first half. We just seemed more at Wigan in the second half, and I think a bit like Blackpool, really. I feel like we got a telling off in half time, and then we came out a bit like full guns blazing, wanting to try and get a goal.
Is that a thing you're concerned about going forward to more games, playing 45 minutes well and the other half not?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it could bite us in the backside, but I don't want that to happen every game. But it does show that we're not it's not like when we're in Championship we didn't bother, and then we won't bother if we conceded the goal. But I think in more recent years now we've seemed to have, not let it overtake us. Like when teams are scoring against us, we've not just gone, all right, let's not bother winning it and getting a result.
Getting the point, yeah.
We seem to be more like, no, we're going to try and get back into this.
Yeah, no, absolutely, mate. It's a good sign that we've got players with that drive now, and it has been a good couple of seasons before we felt like our players actually wanted to put the shirt on and play for us. I've got to say it's probably the points per game season. The season after that is when I think we started to sort everything out in that regard. We got rid of quite a couple of people in that transfer window as well. That has helped change the philosophy of the club. It's a couple of managers changing as well since then. It's I think it's a culmination. Do you think that you said like, I think just before we started stream that you think Sunderland are going to finish 10th? What makes you think 10th and not higher, or like most people expected at the start of the season much lower than that, but with safety in mind? Why 10th?
I don't know. I think I just think before it was just just one of those random guesses. I just thought we won't be a team that finishes not right bottom at the table, but like 15th. I didn't think we'll finish there. Some new clubs do that, but I just think I think especially this season there's some teams that are worse than what we are like Huddersfield, because they've got rid of a lot of
you're saying there's 14 teams that are going to be worse off than us.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of other teams that are in a worse situation. I do feel like there's 3 clear runners for relegation if it stands now. That's Huddersfield, Middlesbrough, and Hull.
Yeah.
I think Middlesbrough ultimately will end up being pretty safe and then start flying up the table after they just give their heads a bit of a shake. I'm kind of concerned about Coventry, but not really, because I know they still have those 3 games in hand, and they've got to play. Huddersfield is one of those. I think isn't Rotherham one of those, and who's the last one?
Is it? Should it be West Brom or something?
I want to say it's Sheffield.
And West Brom's another club who I think will definitely do better than, because they're not doing great, to be honest.
No,
I know they've improved a bit after Bruce is gone, but will be definitely finish above them as well.
yeah, considering that they were without a permanent replacement for Steve Bruce in that game, taking away 3 points, getting 2 goals against a team that's currently sat in 6th, Reading. I've got kudos for the players. I think, yeah, they didn't really respect Steve Bruce as a gaffer, and I don't know why they waited for 13 games to pass for them to realise that.
Yeah.
It's kind of bizarre. Literally, if their caretaker manager gets 1 win, he's already beaten Steve Bruce's 22-23 campaign in 2 games. You know what I mean? It's I don't know.
It's embarrassing to see Bruce, isn't it?
What did you say, mate?
It's a bit embarrassing, isn't it, for Steve Bruce? Because if he can't do it, but his caretaker manager can do better than him, then it's a bit like that's a bit embarrassing, if I'm being honest, from Steve Bruce's perspective.
It is. So I'll circle back to the Sunderland game itself. So the second half, Elliot Embleton's goal was pretty much a mirror image of the Charlie White goal. Breaking play down the left hand side. The winger cuts it in around the 8-yard / penalty spot, goes to the correct person at the correct time, and slots it straight past the keeper, with the keeper just diving, trying to get something on it, but ultimately failing. So the quality of the goal is, I don't know, you'd say a copy paste job from a FIFA game, I guess, but where it really excelled was the second goal for Sunderland. Sirkin getting on the score sheet after assisting the first one. Yeah, what do you think of Sirkin's performance? He was playing the centre back. Like, how's he getting the goal for us to give us the winner? Like, I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, he's just come back, and he just come back from injury or something.
Yeah, so he had a prolonged period off, but I think that's more down to the head coach not having the option to pick him. There's also a oh god, I was going to say it's completely out of the blue for the centre back to be up front and attacking for us, but as an outlet, I think it was clearly a thing that was given the go ahead by Tony Mowbray, because you saw Alessi do it quite a lot in the first half as well. He was in the box, he was the furthest person forward, and he was supposed to be left wing back. So there is that trust from the gaffer. I think they've put on the players now that is basically saying, if you feel like it's a right moment for you to push personally, as long as you're able to cover back, go for it. It's if we do overcommit in situations like that in games where we're against stronger opposition, so teams like Sheffield United, Norwich, that kind of thing, we would get punished for pushing our centre backs that high up. But do you think that's going to be a go-to thing if we keep playing 4-4-2, like getting one defender joining the attack?
Yeah, it could. I think it might be, and I don't want that to be the case, because the defenders will have to go back to where they were, run back down, and they'll get tired, and teams will break us down for that, which is not a good sign. But long term, I don't think we'll keep doing that. I think Mowbray might have to will change if he notices that. If he does it, keeps doing that squad and
brings in the gap. Change. Yeah.
He'll want to be. He'll be like, that could cost us. That.
Yeah.
I'd like to see maybe do something different now. Maybe formation. That's a worrying bit if we're doing the 4-4-2. In my opinion.
Yeah. So I think we've spoken about this a couple of times as well with the tactics. With two people up front, do you think that's a very strange tactic considering we have no out and out strikers? We have people who are makeshift and been put in that position. We are a midfield heavy team. Do you think still playing a 4-4-2 when we've got Sims and Stewart, our only two main front men, out injured? Do you think that's a smart thing to keep continuing with, or what?
I mean, it's not really. I mean, it did work for against Wigan, but it didn't really work against Preston and
Blackpool?
Blackpool. Because Blackpool, we did okay, but we just couldn't seem to get the goals in
Mm-hmm.
and that. But so I think I wouldn't do it without Stewart and Sims. So next time, I think next time if Stewart and Sims come back, do it more so when they're in the team, but not so maybe when they're out.
Yeah.
In my opinion, in that case, I think I'm not sure if like a 4-3-3 would be better, or I don't know, or 4-2-3-1.
I think we need to have a single, especially with Sims and Stewart in the situation that we're at. I think we do need to start adapting a one person striker formation until we get more strikers in our squad. The young lads, don't get me wrong, are doing a really good job, and defenses are struggling with their energy levels, I guess.
Yeah,
But it's the sustainability of that. How often do you think we can make the same substitutions, and they still keep having the impact that we desire? Because I think some teams will catch on to it.
yeah. It's I think should maybe try and start them a bit more often and not just use them as like impact players.
Mm-hmm.
Along with Bennett as well. Give them some games where they'll start on the pitch as well, because we could by half time with them we could be winning. And
Not needed.
yeah,
Well,
that's the thing.
well, like with the Wigan game, we didn't make any subs when we took the lead. We only made we made one sub at half time because that was Gooch was injured. He took a knock in the first half and he twisted his ankle and he wanted to play on. Obviously not 100% after he had rested it for 10-15 minutes. He got subbed off and we didn't make any subs in the second half up until the 90-odd minute when we were looking at 5 minutes extra time, which came from pretty much nowhere.
Yeah,
So yeah, it was. I think tactically, Mowbray got that game perfect. At the end of the day, any win is a perfect tactical decision, right? Sometimes it might
yeah,
be a little bit of luck, but you've did enough. You threw your cards in, and you end up taking away all 3 points. It's when your tactic is to do a long ball or a counter attack, and you park the bus, and then a defender slips up and fucks it up for you. That's the kind of
yeah,
thing that I think Sunderland fans are used to when we are playing more of a defensive outlet, and we expect our defenders to make slips, and we get punished for it.
yeah.
So
I think 09 had a bit to do with the Wigan goal, didn't he?
a little bit, yeah. There was
Mm.
it was like he went for a challenge, but there was 4 or 5 passes after that airball challenge. And so he went to kick
Yeah,
the ball and just hit nothing and fell over. Got straight back up and tried to get back in, but it's that step back that people weren't expecting, and they capitalized. So yeah,
yeah.
do you think we're at a level where we expect perfection from all our players? I don't think so.
No, not yet. But I'd like hopefully as the season goes on, we'll progress and we won't need to struggle about fighting for relegation or put too much pressure on the players for the playoffs. Because I think
Mm-hmm.
it'd be a bonus going into playoffs, and I would like it. But I think mid-table. I
Mm-hmm.
think just settle for that maybe
Well,
this season. But there's
yeah,
not wrong with pushing for the playoffs whatsoever. And if you can do it, then I'd love it. But you know,
I think it might be a little bit too soon with the amount of changes that we need to be Premier League ready. I think maybe
yeah,
one or two
yeah,
more transfer windows before we start making that push up and keep going for it. But if it happens, I'm more than happy to jump on board and get behind the lads to do that. But I do think some of the players, especially some of the newer lads, are a little bit immature for the Prem. But they could go into the Prem and just absolutely shock every team that they come up against. You never know.
We could be a mid-table Premier League team.
we could. Well, 2 seconds.
We
Hi,
could
Ace.
do a
Hi,
Leeds
Tiger.
or a Brent. We could do a Leeds or a Brent. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was watching a Sunderland podcast earlier on today as well, and they were saying about basically the jump from League One to the Championship being a big jump, and everybody gets a little bit culture shocked when they come in here, but it hasn't really been that for us.
We've seemed to have settled in well and done pretty good.
I think all of the promoted teams have done a lot better than most people expected. Wigan are in 15th, Rotherham in 16th. That's at least 6 other teams before they even looking at the relegation zone. We're double that. So yeah,
they're doing the best.
We're doing the best of the 3 promoted teams, and to be honest, it's to be expected. Just because of how we invested in the summer, I don't think the other 2 teams did invest badly, but they didn't invest as much in the summer.
That's what we did.
Yeah,
we did have a good summer with transfers. We did have a good summer, to be fair.
Mm-hmm. And we need another 1 or 2 of those before I think we'll be ready or close to ready to a Premier League push. Yeah. Do update me, Tiger, and that'll be good. So, is there any shock results or shock games that impacted you or you thought about over the Saturday games? There was Sunday as well.
I mean, did Birmingham win Sunday, or did they lose to Hull?
Birmingham won 2-0 against Hull on Sunday.
That kind of shocked me because I thought Hull would maybe get a win in that, but I think Birmingham seemed like they struggled at first, but I think now they're starting to pick up a bit. But I think that was a bit of a shock, really.
We have a DJ. Hello, DJ. Welcome along. He's alive. You're on mute. Oh no, you're not. No, you're not. Yes, you are. No, you're not. Yes, you're. No, you're. Welcome along. I think we've got to repeat ourselves a little bit, but we have gone over the weekend games, a couple of the decisions and other stuff, shall we say? Do you wanna go over your thoughts of the Wigan game? First half, second half, decisions, goals, substitutions, tactics, whatever. Go for it, buddy. Have your say.
Yeah, hi, Anth. Hi, Jacob.
Hello.
First half, I mean, I thought we were all right. You know, and when they like took the lead, you know, it was frustration more than anything else. I mean, because we were all over, and we were beginning to think, was that one of them games again? But deep down inside, in the back of your mind, there was just something about Sunderland. I thought, there's more for us to come, and if we keep that up, then surely we'll have to get something out of this match.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the substitution and then the second half came. Then not only did we carry on where we left off, but I think we dropped down a gear as well, and we were even better than we were. And I thought we just completely took control in the second half. We constantly peppered their goal. I thought Clark and Robles were excellent on the flanks, constantly beating the men, getting them down the wings. I mean, let's not forget, it was a well-taken goal by Charlie Wyke as well. It was a good finish. But second half we came out and we just totally controlled the game. And let's not forget, Wigan were champions in Division 1 last season. So not only have we beat them again, but, we also beat Rotherham. So it shows you how far that we have come compared to last season. We beat the teams that's come up with us.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there was a couple of candidates for man of the match and stuff. I thought, Paddy Pat Roberts was excellent. Down the right, Sirkin as well. Patterson didn't really have that much to do, to be quite honest with you. He didn't have any chance at all with the goal. As for the referee watch, not as bad as what we've had, but still some stupid decisions,
Mm-hmm.
which left you sort of scratching your head.
Yeah, I mean, like the offside in the first half, which wasn't offside. You're looking at a couple of the photos from the fans on the side, and you can see that there were players behind the last defender, but as the ball's been played, he's already ahead. So it was very, very close to call that offside, and it went in favour of Wigan. The counter attack, I think 5 minutes just before the counter attack, didn't Charlie White pull down Luke O'Nien by the neck, and didn't get anything against him as well. So on that point, with the match officiating, and it's been a common theme across a couple of our games so far, do you think something? Yeah. Do you think something like VAR, a third party, outside the stadium, refereeing, officiating, would actually help Sunderland in these games, or not? Oh, the handball as well. The handball that we should have had as a penalty. Do you think we're underserved by the match officials, and VAR should be a thing that's coming down the leagues, or not?
I would definitely say. I mean, I don't know why we are. Whether we're just being paranoid or not, but we never seem to get the rub of the green. But I've been saying this for a long time. I mean, whether they can do it or not. I mean, football's football, no matter what league you're playing in. It's not fair for the Premier League to have VAR and the other leagues not. We matter just as much.
If not more, towards the end of the season. It does get you into that elite bracket of 20 clubs. And there's mega money in that as well, isn't there?
Absolutely. And I think because of the standard of refereeing in the lower leagues, like the Championship Division 1, they obviously need more help. You know what I mean? They're getting that many decisions wrong, blatantly getting them wrong as well, then, they do need help. But I mean, it's a case of where do you draw the line? I mean, you wouldn't be able to have like a VAR decision for every foul, because I mean, some of the referees that have missed blatant fouls from other teams chopping our legs off to bits, and the referees just like waved on. It's a case of what do you have VAR covering in the lower leagues?
Well, it should be the same things across all games, really, shouldn't it? But
I would think so.
in terms of it is a big investment, and it will require a lot of funding. But the Premier League, the EFL TV money, like there is investment in the leagues and the football now for that to trickle down to beyond the first tier of the elite European, the elite European tournaments, leagues. But yeah, VAR side, I don't think it's a popular opinion all that much. Not many people want VAR because it does slow down the game, especially in those decisions where it could be offside, it's slightly this, and it's potentially something that happened 5 passes back, and yeah.
But the thing is though as well, what you have to look at it's even you've seen that many Premier League games, you just don't know whether to celebrate a goal or not.
I don't know. I don't know if it's that bad. I think you should be celebrating a goal every single time, but it just feels like it's slowing down the celebration. It's more like a cheap.
I know you get 2 celebrations in a way, don't you? Because if like you've get in, it's a goal, and then it's gone to VR again, then you can celebrate again when they've awarded you the goal.
Well, they've done it in rugby for decades, mate. With the try decisions, because they can't tell some tries, and they have to have somebody off the pitch looking at the camera and watching, see if the player gets the ball onto the ground. Like, if it's just about that final decision, why not scrap the 4th official or the 3rd official or the linesman and just go, if it was offside, flag it up as offside. Simple as that. Let play flow on, unless it's like clear and obvious it's offside. What is the point of those two men running up and down the wings, going, "He was ahead of him"? Like you can do that with somebody off the pitch and completely separated from the fans, going, "Flag him, he's offside." If it's, you know what I mean? Like there's none of that peer pressure. There's none of that.
Do you think offside should be the case of where your whole of your body's has to be over that line?
No.
Like the ball, you don't.
I think it should be a playable part of your body. So if your head's ahead or your feet is ahead of the last defender, that's off. But if your arm or your fingers are off, like you're running and you're like that, like the flash or something, and your hands ahead of the final defender, I don't think that should be counting, because that part of your body is never playable. It's like your shoulder, your torso, your legs, and your head. Like basically anything that's not your arms. If anything that's not your arms is offside, then yeah, you're offside.
Because I mean, it is ridiculous, isn't it? When you say like it's somebody's eyelash is ahead over that line, and it's like, does that really give the other player an advantage?
Uh, Not at the level that we're at the minute. In the Premier League, it can and does, but it's yeah, it's fine margins, and some fine margins do call games to one team or the other. We could have won this one 4-1, 4-0, depending on if we had results go our way. Like that penalty decision with the handball did hit his hand, but was it too close? It wasn't given either way. The goal that was offside, that wasn't. The yeah, there's just too many of these decisions, but it's also not this game. It's many other games that we've had goals gone awry. The advantage rule that hasn't really been applied. We pass the ball once and then the person gets fouled again, but it doesn't class as a foul. But because you get the ball, it's just those fine margins. If advantage has been played, has advantage been taken? That kind of thing is not real.
But the argument is as well, isn't it? If you're offside, you're offside. You're offside. That's it. You can't argue with it.
Yeah. Whereas fouls and fouls is purely down to the perception of the referee of the intent of the player in that moment. So that's their perception, isn't it? It's human. You can take the ball, but you can also take the man, or you can take just the ball, but it still counts as a foul because you were intended to go through the player's legs to get the ball. Like it's what the referee thinks actually happens in that moment that you've got to worry about.
Absolutely.
So there's benefits and there's drawbacks of having VAR. The slowdown of the game, I think, is a minor change considering how big some of these games could eventually be for some of these clubs. I think at least down to be fair, I think the top 4 leagues in England need it. It stops all of this. The referee's not fit. You're not fit to referee all them chants. It's not about the referee anymore. It's about the VAR and VAR backing up that referee's decision. You know what I mean?
It takes the pressure off the ref, doesn't it?
It takes the pressure off the ref. It also makes it feel a lot more fair and calculated. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Jacob, what's your thoughts on that? You've been quiet for a couple of minutes.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, with someone getting screwed by refs, I feel like VARs can be a bit biased sometimes towards certain teams, and I feel like VAR will be a bit funny with us, but it will be better to have it in the leagues because it just makes it more fair. But it's gone against people. Sometimes it goes for it. It's just I do think it should be brought to Championship.
Yeah,
definitely, and other leagues as well.
Good evening, Rosie. Welcome along.
Hello.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Good evening. I'm just trying to summarize it in one clean sweep. There's only one decision I think that Sunderland would have ever had that would have went against us, and that is the G goal against Man City on New Year's Day back in 2014. That's it. There's not many other games that we would have lost points on. So yeah, I think it'll only be a good thing for teams like us or teams like us that feel like the referees are against them, and that can only be a good thing. Right. So, moving on, we do have quite a lot of games ahead for the next two days. Dean, welcome along. VAR ref shouldn't change then. It might be more consistent. That's what I'm thinking about. It might be. You can't the emotion and the weather, the players harassing the referee doesn't come into effect when you're talking about VAR, because like us watching it from afar, it's like that's what happened, that's how I saw it. But yes, we have a lot of games happening tomorrow. Shall we go through them and go through our predictions for them?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Right, so game 1, early kickoff, kinda 19:45 is Huddersfield versus Preston.
2-1 Preston.
2-1 Preston. DJ, what are you
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah, I'm gonna go 1-0 Preston.
Yeah, I'm thinking 1-0 Preston as well. We're all leaning towards Preston. I don't think there's going to be a lot of goals in it, but Huddersfield have had a bit of a turbulent season, even though they are at home. Preston are really hard for them to break down, and Huddersfield are not that great at breaking down solid defenses. So yeah. Game 2 is Norwich versus Luton.
3-1 Norwich.
Okay, DJ.
I'm gonna go for 2-2. I think the two decent sides.
Okay.
I think Luton will give them a good game.
Give them a show for their money. So I kind of feel like Norwich are in their dip, or they're in their bad spell of games. They've won 1 in 5. They could be at least 9 points clearer of everybody else if they actually pulled their finger out. And Luton are pretty much the pull-up, so that they're on fire, they're on form. So I'm going to back Luton to win this one. Another 1-0 away win. Then the last 7:45 game is Swansea versus Reading.
3-0 Swansea.
Really? Okay. DJ?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go for Reading 2-0.
Okay. See, Swansea got absolutely thumped on the weekend. I don't know if you know that they got beat 4-0. They got a red card as well. Late on in that game. So yeah.
Can you go up there and see for a bit or not?
I don't know. Reading for me might just edge it. I want to see a 2-1 away win.
Just try it.
Tough place to go though, at Liberty Stadium.
It is, but they've had an absolute shocker,
Yeah.
and they might be down in the dumps a little bit. The first 8 o'clock game is Blackburn Rovers against Sunderland.
3-2 Sunderland.
Oh, that's going to be entertaining. Go on then.
Yeah.
DJ, what are you saying?
Well, that depends on what players are back for us, doesn't it? There's no sign of Sims back, is there? I'm going to go for 1-1.
Cool. That. To be fair, a point against Blackburn wouldn't be bad. I'm actually going to be backing Sunderland because this is literally the only reason. Blackburn have won 8 and lost 7, and they win 1, lose 1, win 1, lose 1, win 1, lose 1. They're going to lose this one, and I want to see a 2-0 Sunderland win. Game 5 is Stoke versus Rotherham. Now, what are we saying?
1-1.
Oh, okay. DJ?
Stoke 3-0.
Oh, a battering. Okay. I am leaning towards what DJ's thoughts here. I'm going to say 2-1 Stoke. Rotherham have not had a bad couple of weeks. There are in most games, but Stoke now with Alex Neil kicking in. I think they're gonna get a good Tuesday night game at the Britannia, the Bet365. What's it called now?
Yeah. Don't mention that name again. Not Bet365, but what you said before. Begins with A and
Oh yeah, okay,
surname.
okay.
Just
Anth
don't.
the Mackem.
Yeah. You know who. Griffith.
The last Tuesday night game is West Bromwich Albion against Bristol City at the Baggies ground.
2-1 West Brom. Don't know. I think they might just edge it.
Okay. DJ?
0-0.
Wet paper towel.
Yeah.
I want to say, because I thought they would absolutely crumble against Reading, especially after going managerless, and they haven't. I'm going to back West Brom. I want to say 3-1. Now, let's move on to Wednesday night. We'll do it in the same order. So Jacob first, DJ, then me, and we'll do that for all of them. I think it's working out quite nicely as happening. So, game 1, 7:45, Birmingham City versus Burnley at St Andrews.
Burnley are going to win it 3-1.
Okay. DJ.
Burnley. 2-0 Burnley. I think they're starting to come around, aren't they?
Oh yeah, mate, the top of the table now.
Yeah.
They haven't...
Matt Goldbridge, who's Man United fan, he won't be happy about that because he hates Burnley, doesn't he?
Yeah, but it's close proximity to where he lives, and you can kind of understand it. Yeah. I'm gonna say this one's gonna be a draw. I'm gonna say 0-0. I just don't have good goal vibes in this one. Could be completely wrong, but you never know. Game 2/8. Game 8 is Blackpool versus Hull City.
I think 1-0 Hull, and I think Hull winning it. I think I'm going to say Hull to win it because Blackpool they've had 3 players sent off in the last game, and that's probably going to knock them a bit.
Good point.
So I think it.
Okay, DJ.
Blackpool 4-0.
Mate, he completely disagrees with you.
You want crack, DJ?
Hey?
Are you on crack, DJ?
No, just gas mark 6.
You pull that scoreline out of your crack though. All right, I'm gonna back. I'm gonna back Blackpool, and I'm gonna say 2-1. I just think Hull are just too shit at the back. The worst defense in the league, even with those 3 players being sent off. Yeah, Blackpool at home's not a pushover. So yeah, Blackpool 2-1. Game 9. No, 8. Game 6, 7, 8. Game 8 is Coventry City against Sheffield United.
2-2.
I'm wearing shorts, thank you very much. DJ.
I'm going to Sheffield United 3-0. I think they've been a bit poor recently, so I think they will come good for that one.
I'm going to say Cov 2-1. Bit of a one out there because obviously Cov are bottom of the league, but Sheffield have stepped off the pedal over the last 3-4 games, so I think Cov might punish them. Game 10 is QPR versus Cardiff City.
1-0
QPR versus Cardiff. You've gone 1-0 QPR, yeah?
Yeah, I have. 1-0 QPR.
See, I think it's going to be end-to-end stuff this game. So I'm going to go 0-0.
End to end, basically, it's just getting pinged in the middle, volleyball style.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to say QPR 2-0. Not much in it.
Cardiff don't concede a lot, do they? They're a bit like Preston as well.
Yeah, but
Just-
QPR are fifth, and they are quite hard to break
It were a
down.
fluke against Luton. That were a fluke, I think. A bit of a blip.
I don't know. Even when we went 2-0 ahead, they had a lot of fight and bite in them. So I don't know. Cardiff might just be a team that they can rinse. You never know. Game 11 is Wigan Athletic against Middlesbrough. Two teams coming into this match with very poor form. Let's face it.
2-1 Wigan.
Okay, DJ.
I'm gonna go 3-1 Wigan.
I'm gonna go 1-0 Borough.
Ugh.
Fair dues.
Yeah, I think they need to. They want to climb out of that bottom three, don't they? And Wigan as a team, as we've proven, are definitely beatable on the day. Got put in the shift really.
Well, they were poor against us, weren't they?
Yeah.
Were we just too good? I mean, I don't know.
They were more bothered about what pies they were going to have after the match. Wigan.
Absolutely.
You gotta have your bob roll. And then the final game of the midweeks is 8 o'clock. Millwall versus Watford.
1 apiece.
Okay. DJ.
Did you see Birmingham there?
No. Millwall, Watford.
I don't know why I thought you said Birmingham. Millwall, Watford. Yeah, Watford 2-0. I think they're gonna have too much.
I'm gonna join Jacob here. I'm gonna say a draw. 1-1.
Well, gang up on us if you want. Then I don't care.
What on?
So it seems to be the hardest word, DJ.
So that's the prediction section done. Rosie's jumped into the chat and said, "I definitely agree that we should have VAR in the championship." He's catching up on this, isn't she? Just a bit behind. Hello, Lola.
Lola back if Sunderland are going to beat Blackburn.
What? Did you hear her there? She said, "What?"
He said, "Woof woof."
Very deep voice, Lola. Very deep bark there. Bloody hell.
Woof. Woof.
How's she doing, little Lola? Anyway.
Oh, she's happy as Larry. Have a look at this. Oh, happy
Matt
girl. Very, very, very cute. Oh, I shouldn't have moved that camera. Should not have moved that camera. So yeah, we've gone through the Sunderland game. We've gone through a couple of the other games as well. We've gone through our predictions for the next one. Is there any other football topics that you've seen that you want to call out?
Any footballing topics? Yeah. What about the attendance? I think the fans have not lost faith at all. Have there? It was a good crowd for considering the weather was absolutely awful.
Funny you said that. We had a Geordie come into the chat and basically say 27,000 empty seats at the start of the start of the stream before we even went live. And I pulled up the attendance stats. Sunderland's average attendance so far this season is 38,070. The next nearest is Sheffield United with 28,088. We are just shy of 10,000 ahead of the nearest attendance team in this league. So
That Geordie bastard.
no, I just don't understand. Like, yeah, we might have 27,000 empty seats, but when we come to the Prem, we'll have none.
They're just
They
obsessed.
seem to be getting better already, I think. There was more empty seats in League One than there is now. To be fair. But you
Oh yeah. No, the average attendance for League One was about 30,000. So we are massively upstepping that. We've got 8 extra thousand people who are basically more back on board with the style of play. We needed that.
Yeah. Things are truly getting better now for us, I believe.
It feels that way.
It's just something to be happy about, and we deserve it. For all the shit we've been through, we deserve it. Every good moment in this season.
I'll ask the question.
Go on then.
10 being good, 1 being terrible. How do you think Sunderland have coped without the star men out, say Sims and Stewart,
Probably a 6.
like
Yeah,
in the middle of the road, yeah.
yeah.
Well, yeah, because we won 3 games where we didn't really need them. We won
Reading.
we won 2 3-0 games, pretty much back to back, but then since those 2 games we have stepped off the pedal, and then obviously winning again against Wigan, we're still without them. So picking up 3 wins without them, I'm okay with that.
And
That's
how
gotta
how
be
do
a
you
good
rate?
sign.
Sorry, Jacob, carry on.
Oh no, I was just saying that's got to be a good sign, and it without them, and we're still, not a sign of a team that's going to struggle.
How do you
Let's
rate
see.
Tony? How do you rate Tony Mowbray? 10 being good, 0 being obvious reasons.
Yeah, I think it's too early to tell. I
Too
do
early to
I do want you to say your answer as well, but I'm putting them about 7 at the minute, so above where the squad's at with 6. But yeah, I think.
Oh, you copied me there, Anth. Right.
I'm gonna put in a copyright claim on YouTube. Get your channel took down. No, I do think it's more like every time we've went in at half time, it seems to be what he said or done, made the substitutions or waited 5 minutes to see how the game's gone. His tactical things in the second half of what's rescued our games or rescued points. So I think he's doing all right.
He's not been Phil Parkinson, is he? Like waiting until 87th minute to change it.
No,
He's not been stubborn, is he? He's not been like a Phil Parkinson or Jack Ross, maybe.
yeah.
But
Oh no.
So what was your answer then? You still didn't give us it.
7.
I'm going to go for a 7.5.
On the upper end. He's not our best ever manager so far, but he's showing what he's worth.
Definitely
Yeah.
better than Moyes and Parky and Gratian.
Do you think he's got the potential? This is there's the emphasis on the word there, potential, to do a Roy Keane for us.
Could do.
Never say never. That's all I'm going to say.
I feel like he needs to be a manager, and I know I'm gonna beat the bush, beat the dead, whatever you call it. I do think we need a manager, not a head coach, to do that.
I don't think that's going to change for a while, though.
No,
I don't think that.
I don't think that's going to change until we change the director of football, which is Speakman, obviously, at the minute, isn't it?
Mm.
So, yeah, I hope so. I hope he just does what he's supposed to in terms of team selection, player selection, training, all that. Day-to-day running of getting the best out of the players.
Yeah.
Yeah. But time will tell, I guess.
Yeah.
Final point, I guess, because we're coming up to the hour mark. Before I move on, Dean says about the capacity point. He needs to go to Specsavers because the crowd cap at the Stadium of Light is 48,000. So 10 shy of the 38 is not 27,000, is it? But yeah, right. What we're doing next on each other's channels? What's the plans?
I'm just going to be putting me funny clips up. The usual stuff. Did you see the last one I put up with? Did you see the last one I put up with Luke 09?
Yeah, I'm classing. This is what I've got. Now you've got your own playlist name. I'm classing them as DJ Goofs. They need to be in the one separate playlist. Yeah.
Or DJ Circus or comedy show, something like that.
Crazy world of football. Do you not know this? What are you doing on your channel, Jacob, mate?
I think I would be uploading some more old TikTok videos that are, onto my channel because I've already done that. Like some of them videos that I've uploaded recently are from 2 years ago when I first got TikTok and all that. Might maybe do that.
Tell you what I have noticed about the shorts though. Do you not know how I'm doing the goals for Sunderland and doing them as shorts? I've noticed other YouTubers are completely fine. It's just losing the monetization features of using other football goals and clips and moments from past. You'll see a lot of Messi ones, you see a lot of Ronaldo ones, you see a lot of Holland ones at the minute, but they don't get taken down; they just get demonetized. So I might keep doing what I'm doing with the Sunderland goals.
Yeah.
'Cause I am putting my own spin on it, aren't I? So I'm going to be doing more Sunderland football goal shorts. The prediction video is going to do a slight change on that. We are changing it to a reaction of the previous set of games and then a prediction bit at the end. And then we do Monday Night Football, which is now going to change. Isn't that right, boys?
Aye.
So from next week, Monday Night Football is going to change to a Friday
Summer, wait
night.
there. What would you do if you won a meeting, Sue? You would say go and sort them out, wouldn't you?
DJ is completely lost on where we're at there. So yeah, we're moving the Monday Night Football to a Friday night from next week. So
You
that
bet for
will
me as
change.
well because I want to have the kids to sort out because they won't have school on the weekends. So I think it'll be
much better. So yeah, we're moving from Monday night to a Friday night from next week onwards. So in the meantime, we've got the game tomorrow night against Blackburn Rovers, the Burnley game on Saturday, and then that's it. There's 2 midweek games, but they're not us. That's one of the Coventry catch-up games, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, live streams, Monday Night Football to a Friday, football shorts. Yeah, and check out DJ and Jacob in the comments below. I think that's it. You want to say good night and well, lads?